Hey guys, we are here in downtown Ashland in Oregon. It's the first city in the boundary of California and Oregon. So let's go explore this historic downtown.
Ashland is a city in Jackson County in Oregon in the United States. It lies along Interstate 5, approximately 16 miles or 26 kilometers north of the California border. Established on the site of a Shasta Indian village, the city began as Ashland Mills for Abel Hellman's sawmill and flouring mill built on now Ashland Creek. With fertile soil and extensive rangelands, the southern Bear Creek Valley's 1850s donation land claim homesteads prospered. Ashland benefited from its location north of the formidable Siskiyou Pass, astride the route of the Oregon-California Wagon Trail, the Stagecoach Line, and the 1880s Southern Pacific Railroad, connecting Sacramento and Portland. Economically and politically, Ashland steadily eclipsed the county seat, the gold mining boomtown of Jacksonville, and for a time became the largest and wealthiest community in southwestern Oregon. Beginning in the 1890s, Ashland secured its place as the region's cultural center by hosting Southern Oregon's annual Chautauqua Festival, held for 2 decades in a special beehive-shaped building. Sadly, by 1910, the booming railroad and orchard town of Medford surpassed Ashland, and the town's leader looked for new avenues to prosperity. Ashland's Commercial Club proudly advertised for new businesses by promoting the town as a comfortable haven for American citizens, no black or Japanese. Hopes that the area's health-giving mineral springs will draw tourists led to public and private investments, including the development of Lithia Park in 1914 and the construction of the Lithia Springs Hotel in the late 1920s. But a solid tourist boom failed to materialize. When the Southern Pacific Railroad completed over Willamette Pass to Eugene in 1927, most of Ashland's former rail traffic took this easier route. Employment and population began to drop. And soon the Great Depression brought even bleaker fortunes. After World War II, Ashland regained a measure of prosperity with its small college and several sawmills that produced lumber for the post-war housing boom. The town's Shakespeare Festival began in 1935 and grew steadily and became a catalyst for change in Ashland's fortunes. With the construction in 1970 of the Angus Bulmer Indoor Theatre, the city began its dramatic shift to a tourism-dominated economy. By the 1990s, Ashland became a high-end tourist town. Also, the city's simultaneous popularity as a retirement mecca produced some of the highest property values in Oregon, resulting in the steady exodus of many lower and moderate-income residents. Sometimes there is also a bitter conflict over the new development and growth versus no-growth city planning.
Only like 4:30. Actually, it's only 5 and it's already very dark in here.
There are a couple of historic structures in downtown Ashland, and here are some of them. Ashland Ioff Building. Built in 1879 to 1880, it has an eclectic architectural style common in small western towns during the middle of the late 19th century. Locally designed, it was built of local clay brick by local bricklayers. Enders Building. It was constructed in 2 episodes between 1910 and 1914. Designed in the commercial style by leading local architect Frank C. Clark and opened for use in 1910. So we're walking along downtown looking for a shop where they sell candles for birthday cakes. J.P. Dodge Building. Construction of the new building on East Main Street began in 1904 and largely completed by August at a cost of $5,500. John Page Dodge arrived in Ashland in 1883 and later served on the Ashland City Council and was elected mayor in 1896. Ashland Masonic Lodge Building. Originally constructed in 1879, it was a brick building of 2 stories in Italianate style. Design is attributed to L.S.P. Marsh, a local contractor. In 1909, the second story was enlarged for an assembly room. In 1928, a partial third story was added and the facade was remodeled in Georgian style. In both 1909 and 1928, the changes were designed by the leading local architect Frank C. Clark. Since most of us have sweet tooths, we decided to visit one of our favorite shops, the Chocolate Factory. Varsity Theatre. Built in 1937, it is listed on the National Register of Historic Places as a contributing building within the Ashland Downtown Historic District. Whittle Garage Building. A rather late interpretation of the false front commercial store that had dominated much of southern Oregon's downtown landscape since the middle of the 19th century. Trinity Episcopal Church. This Gothic revival, constructed in 1894-95 from drawings by local builder W. J. Schmidt, it is Ashland's sole unaltered 19th century church, still in use for services by its original denomination. Ashland National Guard Armory. William C. Knighton, Oregon State architect, designed this stucco reinforced concrete building. The exterior conveys the character of medieval fortifications typical of armories of the period. The style is combined with elements borrowed from the Pueblo style of New Mexico. John McCall House. This Victorian Italianate house was built by John McCall, capitalist and state legislator, who founded the Ashland Woolen Mill. It is an outstanding example of its type and style in Ashland, and is one of the best preserved Italianate houses in Oregon. Emil and Alice Applegate Peel House. This 1910 bungalow was the home of Alice Applegate Peel, whose grandfather was Oregon pioneer Lindsay Applegate, for whom the Applegate Trail was named. This house was the family home for more than 40 years. GM and Kate Granger House. This 1890s thick Victorian residence was built for GM Granger, two-term Ashland mayor, and his wife Kate. Carter Memorial Fountain. It features Pioneer Mike, a statue by Allen George Newman, donated to the city by family members in honor of Henry and Harriet Carter, an Iowa couple who settled in the city and founded the Bank of Ashland, dedicated in 1910. Street Scene. A bas-relief sculpture by Marion L. Young, and depicts more than a dozen Shakespearean characters. Lithia Springs Hotel. Designed by Portland architects Tortelot and Hamel, it was intended to be a modern luxury hotel of imposing dimensions and style, which will provide first-class accommodations for the many visitors and tourists that Ashland business people expected to be drawn to the health resort and vacation center. It was then the tallest building between Portland and San Francisco. And we finally found some candles.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Didilo. Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish.
Wish on. Alright, that's it for the history of Ashland in Oregon and some of the historic sights to see in this beautiful small town. Until next time, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Bye! So guys, if you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and feel free to comment.
Hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell. Come on, guys, hit the bell.
For notifications.
And don't forget to share.
And like!